Good afternoon. Today's Tuesday, right, Tim?
All day and most of the
Um,
night.
May 12th. Thanks for joining our number 10 episode of What's the Deal featuring Pat and Tim.
Who would have thought?
Who would
Who
have
we
thought?
got at number 10?
This is just something we dreamed up from being bored in our home offices. So thank you for everyone that's attended over the past. We've had probably over 1,000 attendees for the 9 previous episodes. So thank you, everyone. You can find past ones if you've missed it on our website, maxdigital.com, along with some other great tools. So Tim, what are we talking about today? What's the topic today?
The top Max dashboard. So this was another topic that was sent in by a viewer, which I think this is a good, when we were going through the run of show today, this is a good overview, but I think like there's a lot of future episodes in each one of the topics that we're going to cover. So we're going to just kind of gloss over what the dashboard does and then maybe come back on each part of it. Right?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
so here's my contact info. If you need me, if you want to reach out, connect on LinkedIn. There's my info, and then Tim's info.
There's me. All right, hit us up on Facebook. So let's dive into the Max dashboard. Patrick, when somebody asks you, "Hey man, why do you guys have 2 dashboards?" Or I don't get it. What do you tell people?
Well, that's a great question. So go hit the first look button real fast for me.
All right.
So most of you when you log in, you see the first look homepage that pops up first. So think of this as like your internal view of appraising, pricing, stocking, right? Like all the things that you need to do on a daily basis to run the used car desk, your appraisals, your bucket jumpers, your pricing, what cars should I stock? And then when you hit the Max link.
All right, and you can hit Max digital marketing service right here. It brings you right to the Max dashboard.
And think of this as your external focus. So you have, the things that we're going to go through today, like how fast am I getting my cars online? Do I have any holes in my inventory as far as like merchandising? Do I have cars out there without photos? So this is, the way your customers look at you online. This is a way to manage that separate. So we didn't want to put everything into one dashboard because it gets confusing. We get that a lot, but I like it separated because a lot of times the person that's appraising and pricing the vehicles doesn't handle the merchandising.
Right.
So it's a separate tool for that, or sometimes they do. And we want to make sure that you have all the tools available at your fingertips to do so. So what are we starting with on here? What do you think?
So we're going to start with the way that I explain this is, I start just like on the first look dashboard, start left to right. And I think on the left-hand side, these are your most critical alerts. Okay, we've covered this a couple of other times, but the not online report, let's just face it, if your car isn't online, it's not for sale. Would that be safe to say? Yeah, in 2020, whatever, we're watching this, if you're watching it in the future, it's the future, baby. You can't sell the car unless it's online. And so we're going to give you
right now too, right?
Oh,
with the COVID that's going on. I mean, your online is your front line. It's been that way for a while.
So if you have the ability, if you have view into a couple of different stores, you can click here and see this report for multiple stores. And you can click the status for cars that are not online, cars that are online, or both. We can sort new or used if we handle your new car exports. And then you can set like a threshold of minimum days, because we know sometimes as soon as you get a car, it's not online. So that's what that minimum days means. So the car has to be at least 3 days old before we're going to say, hey, it's not online. Right? Now, what does not online mean? How do you explain it to somebody, Patrick?
So it's not fully merchandised. So we look at photos with ads with photos, and then ads fully merchandised with the ad descriptions. So you can see that right on your homepage when you look at the time to markets dashboard.
Yeah, but this report specifically though, right? So this is the report that we say, okay, at the end of the night, we send all of your inventory out to your websites. And then we have a feedback that says, okay, we sent your website provider 100 cars. Your website provider sends us 99 back. That one car is your car that's not online, right? That's what this report does. Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting confused with something else, man. You sure? What are you drinking in there this morning?
It's just water. Just water.
Okay, good. So we'll show you the age. We'll show you the vehicle. You know, a lot of times, looks like this report, it's a little long in the tooth for these guys. I think I got to make a phone call when we're done here.
Yeah.
So, all right. So no photos. I think this goes without saying. These are your cars with no photos. If you're not concerned about cars with no photos, and I imagine if we clicked in here, we'd be able to see, you know, there's be some age on those cars. And
Yeah.
then obviously no price. Now, as a default rule, we will not send vehicles to your website provider online for you with zero price. Is that correct? Isn't that the rule?
Yeah. I mean, we can sidestep that if a dealer asks us, but the general rule is yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a safety valve. It's,
Yeah.
hey, you're not going to get anybody looking at your car anyway if you don't have a price on it. So these are the most critical alerts on the left-hand side. And then I like to jump to the right-hand side. This is what I tell people, hey, this is, okay, the cars are online now. Here's where you have some gaps in what's going on online and maybe some things to help get you better, right? Would you agree? A good way to
Yeah.
put it?
Yes, 100%.
So I do get a lot of guys who come in and say, hey man, I got like today, 182 merchandising alerts. I'll never get through 182 alerts. You're probably right. You know, keeping that number at a manageable number is it's something you got to do every day. It's like you know, you can't walk every car in your inventory every single day. You got to do it in bits and pieces, and that's what we do here. So the first metric that we look here is what we call the low online activity report. How do you summarize this report, Patrick?
So low online activity. So we look at the different third parties that are out there while this loads. So looking at cars.com, car gurus, certain dealership groups we have Auto Trader data for. So, but if you do have a rep, they can send you the Auto Trader data, and then some groups send that to us so we can populate it. But we do have cars.com and car gurus. So if you're a car gurus dealer and you're not seeing that data, let us know and we can get that set up for you.
Yeah. The cool thing about this data, the way that we set this report up, obviously you can flip through the dealers you have access to. We have both a low online activity and a high online activity. Just like you want to see the cars that have, you know, a less than 2% click-through rate, we're going to show you cars with an over 4% click-through rate. You'd be like, hey man, I got a lot of people looking at this car, but why aren't I selling it? That's just, it goes the other way. You might be ready to whack the price, but you're getting a bunch of clicks. It might not be about the price. So lots of good stuff here. You can also export this to an Excel spreadsheet and use it any way you want. All right, no packages. What does this mean, Patrick? What does it mean when a guy has a bunch of alerts that says no packages?
Yeah, so, you know, for the majority of OEMs, we will work with them to get the packages in. So for example, if you're a GM store, you know, Chevy store, all your GM products, we will build the package data for you, but you might have a Ford, like a Ford F-150 on the lot. Since you're not affiliated with Ford, what this is telling you is there may be some packages on this car that isn't populating. So if you click on view available packages right there, these are all the packages that could be available on this car. And the nice thing about this is we'll actually give you a description of, you know, what comes in that package. So, you know, the equipment group 601A luxury, what does that mean? You know, there it is.
It's got a ton of stuff. Look at $3,700 worth of equipment.
Yeah, so if this truck has this, you're standing at it, you can do this on a mobile device too. It's called Max Mobile. You can walk out to the car, it'll show all the packages, and then you can say, yep, it has the 6-way seat adjustment, it has the lumbar, it's got the wrap steering wheel. Yep, it's got that. And then it'll add it to your ad description. So Tim, if you go back to the ad description, not only will it add it here under, you know, packages, but it'll also, on the digital showroom side of things, it'll add that value, that MSRP value that, you know, your sales team can use to build, you know, to use as evidence and hold and justify the price. So, you know, it's not just getting those eyeballs on your third party sites, but it's also giving that information to your sales staff so they can be, you know, instant experts on every single car that's on your lot.
Yeah, I think this just this page alone is probably a future episode when we could spend 10, 15 minutes talking about this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Bookouts need review. What do you think? What do you tell guys when you see that?
So the same thing with packages, right? The the vehicle wasn't booked out. So whatever book you have, whether it's NADA, Kelly Blue Book, and why is that important? Well, if if you put a book out on it, and let's say you lower your price by $200, and now your price is actually $500 below NADA or $600 below Kelly Blue Book, we will push that in the ad description. So under that preview, it'll say, you know, $1,400 below Kelly Blue Book or $1,200 below NADA. So when my mom or my sister's shopping online, whether it's Auto Trader, you know, in your preview description, they'll see that right away compared to the quote unquote experts in retail pricing, you are beating their retail suggested retail price. And
Yep.
remember, it also not only goes on your ad description, but then that also goes into digital showroom by using those pricing proof points. So you know how well you're setting up your sales team to hold the price, right? So Tim, let me ask you a question. If we added this, you know, $3,200 package, we end up $1,400 below an ADA, and I come into your store and I want $1,000 discount, salesperson probably goes right to the desk and says, hey, this guy wants $1,000 discount. But
Right.
if you were the salesperson, how would you use that data to
I would
sell me?
pull up the digital showroom and I would just read it and say, this is what you got, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're making a great point. You've mentioned, you know, the digital showroom 4 or 5 times here. I mean, these alerts, I mean, if you're a digital showroom customer, these alerts are just so critical. I mean, somebody should be in here every day, just minimizing these you know, these alerts. I'm going to show you at the end how to get them emailed to you every day. Because
I would say, think of it this way. This is the engine
yeah,
that builds everything, you know, your
Mhm.
sales enablement tools, your ad
Right.
descriptions, your
Right.
online presence. This is
Yep.
the foundation, the engine that needs to be managed. Just like
Mhm.
we manage on the First Look side, we manage, you know, our bucket jumpers, our wholesale units, our trade-ins.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. So it's just, you know, putting attention on things that could make your ads even that much better, and then set up your sales team.
Low photos. What does low photos mean?
Sorry, we just had a question. I was reading that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You read the questions. So the low photo alert will let you know, indicate to you the cars that are in your inventory with less than a set threshold. So some dealers like to say, hey, I want to know if I have at least 6 photos. I want to know if I have at least 12 or 31. We can customize that setting for you and let you know, because sometimes there are stores out there that want to get a car online really fast. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
time to market here in a second, and just take a couple of quick picks. We'll alert you to know where is that gap, because ultimately we want to reach a certain threshold. So that's what low photos mean. All right, so we said we had a question. Are we good?
No, we're good. Somebody was just saying hi. How do we get, so the question was, how do we get showroom and website data to appear in the Max dashboard? That was from Tim at Ghent Motor Company. So let's see, showroom and
Showroom data?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have showroom
So
data.
yeah. So Tim, if you have, and I can reach out to you privately, where it says showroom and website 2.0, this will show how often is your team using the digital showroom information. And then you can also see, if you click, this is overall, but if you click on right there, it'll break it apart by desktop and mobile views. So if this is part of your process, like it looks like, you know, this is part of the process at this particular store, because this is on a weekly basis how much they're using it. And it's anywhere between, you know, 200 to 500 times a week. This is also great for your BDC team. If you have an internal or even an external, you know, BDC, we can, if you're part of a group, we can, like Price LeBlanc, for example, if they had one BDC center for all their stores, we could build a customized, you know, group center for their team to use. So
Yeah.
Tim, Tim, I'll reach out to you privately and we'll help you with that. So I'll call you after this.
Good question.
Yeah, thank
Hope
you.
Tim's, yeah, hope Tim's doing well. All right, so let's stay here in the middle, okay? So these over here were our merchandising alerts, okay? We did a good job covering there. We just touched on showroom website, but the first one that comes into play here is time to market. I get a lot of questions about time to market. Again, this is another metric I think we have our own show about, but
Yeah.
in general, how do you describe time to market?
Well, it's just like it states, right? Like how fast are we getting our cars online? You can see, this particular store, days to vehicle online with photos, 1.9 days average, and then days to complete ad online, 6.3. So we're looking at it in two different ways, and then you can see the time frame. So if you want to look at just this month, right now we're looking at February. So if we just want to look at the month of May, the data changes based upon your parameters and what you want to look at. So the nice thing about this too is you can see, it says view details. Sometimes if this number looks large and it looks a little bit out of whack, you might have an outlier that didn't make it online for whatever reason, or you're waiting on a title or something, you just can't advertise it. That will throw off the averages, but at the same time, you can quickly and easily see these cars. And if there is an issue, dive into it very quickly.
I almost say we might need to cover that on Thursday. I'm calling it. Calling my shot. Time to market on Thursday. So tune back in Thursday. We'll cover time to market tip to toe. Bow to stern. Digital showroom time to market. Oh, I've gotten this one a lot lately too, is the stop the drop. So at the top here, we've got a couple of these tabs here. There's a reports tab. Okay, so if you're a digital showroom customer, right, you have to have digital showroom to have this turned on, but the stop the drop report, this is where you find that information. So this is where, right, we take the last internet price in First Look and Max, and we measure it against the sale price that came out of the DMS, and we say, how'd you do, up or down? And we can break that out over a certain amount of time period, right? We do the date ranges here. And depending upon your integration with your data provider, we can sort that information out by your salesperson, maybe even your sales manager, but definitely by vehicle, so we can get an idea which vehicles we discounted the most on. I think there's some pretty good metrics in here too, right? Price, what was it price to market, the final sale price, how much did we discount, days supply, some good things in here to have conversations about.
Yeah, for example, if we were priced at 95% to market and we still gave a $1,500 discount, why is that? And you can see, I have the question asked all the time too, Tim, is like, what should my benchmark be? How do you answer that?
So I know for a fact that the customers that use our platform, about $400 is average. I think it goes up and down. I haven't seen what it is lately. So I start there, and then I say if they're at $700, I talk to them about their process. It's like, what can we do to drive that down? And I just I come right back to the digital showroom. Is that a product that you've looked at using? Are you using it? And how does your sales process and what's your desking process look like?
Yeah, and also, like 400 is a good benchmark, but at the same time, if you're at 500, what could we do to get to 400? If we're at 400, what could we do to get to 300? Or vice versa, we're at 1,000 right now. What can we do in small incremental steps to get to 800 next month?
Yeah.
And then get to 600, and instead of trying to get there all at once, manage to that.
Yeah. All right, last piece, and we'll wrap this up. All of these alerts that we've talked to you guys about, okay, we can have them sent to you via email every night, so that you can get in there. You'll get a quick email. There's a link in that email that takes you to the Max dashboard, right? And you can kind of take action on it. And these alerts are all customizable too. So, in this particular instance, we can set the alert on the dashboard and via email when there's at least one car not online. Okay, so you'll get that email every night. If this is something you're interested in, hit us up on the side, contact the help desk. We'll be happy to get that stuff set up for you. You can see a couple of the guys here. It goes on. We can set these alerts both for new and used vehicle.
How'd you get to that again, Tim?
So that's a custom setting right here in Max settings.
Yep. So just like Tim said,
yeah, oldie but a goodie,
Yeah.
All right, cool. We didn't do our poll question.
Do it right now.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, I want to see what people's thoughts are. We got a really interesting poll question.
Wait, we got a question here. Are any of these questions all right? Let's see. Let's see here. Hold on. Why don't packages and options choose during an appraisal stay with the car when it enters inventory pricing? You basically are checking off options 3 times. So that's from Chris. So Chris, I think that's a great question. The functionality where we would enter in OEM packages and equipment at appraisal, right? The high value ones that we're talking about here. Max is a project we've been looking at and talking about at Max for a couple of years now. The size and scope of that project is huge, right? And there's some hurdles that we've got to overcome before we want to roll that out to the dealers. I'm just going to put it to you simply. Max auto load and pulling in those packages doesn't happen as fast as you think it does. I mean, it look like it does. So that's kind of where we're at. But I think that's a pretty good question. How do we get showroom and website to appear? Okay, we got that.
We covered that, yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry, didn't want to forget about everybody. Good questions. All right, poll question, then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Launch. All right. So in honor of the Last Dance, I was watching it last night, Sunday night with my wife. It's the 10th episode is coming up this weekend. In your opinion, the greatest NBA player of all time is? Now, I don't think this guy's even in discussion, but we have Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or other. So it looks like we have a clear winner. I don't even know why I put this up as a poll question, but 100%.
Throw it up. Throw it up.
Jeez Louise.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We're going to
Jordan.
close. All right. I'm going to close it, and we'll share it right now.
100%.
100%.
I agree.
I no doubt.
I agree with everyone.
If you're not watching that show is. I'm
really
a Knicks fan, but it gets you kind of pumped, watching the stuff that Jordan couldn't do and he did. All right.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining today. See a lot of people we know on there. Tim, thanks to everyone for making this a success. We're having a lot of fun with it. If you have any show topics, let us know. We'd be more than happy to cover stuff that's important to you guys. So thank you, and we'll see you guys Thursday.
See you later.